Justin Rhodes, and we have his chickshaw. We built it 7 or 8 years ago, and you've talked about some of the struggles that people have an idea of having a homestead, very idyllic, having chickens out and all that. But what are some of the biggest struggles? You even kind of talked some about that today. Some of the biggest struggles that people might face early on if they want to get into homesteading.
They're gonna definitely struggle with loneliness and inept. So it's gonna be lonely. They're gonna lose friends. Friends and family are gonna think you're crazy. You have to get a new sets of some endure, some you have to get new sets of friends for. And the ineptness, you've got to learn everything. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna have livestock. That means you're gonna have dead stock. It's gonna be okay. You keep pressing through. Eventually you're going to get bored, and it's not going to take you too long to get bored of going and feed. At first it's very exciting, even collecting eggs. If you do that every day for 20 years, that's a lot of egg collection. That's thousands and thousands of visits.
And you mentioned like every 6-7 years there's a kind of a lull, a struggle point of pushing through.
That's right. About every 6-7 years is a burnout period. I don't care if it's in a marriage or in homesteading, or in your business, or in an entrepreneurial venture, or at work, or school. There tends to be some sort of something that happens at 7 years. So at that point, you might have to find a new why. You might have came to this because
not a
food
new
security,
wife. Not a new wife, but a new why.
A new why. At 2020, you might have came for food security. But then when everything kind of go back to normal, like it has, you're no longer running off of this adrenaline and this fear. You're going to have to dig in and find a new why. And it may be that you want to start doing this regeneratively, and your why becomes, I want how I farm to make the land a better place for my children. So you might have a bigger why in that way, a vision for the future. And that was what it would be for us. We started out, for Rebecca it was health. For me, all this organics are expensive. Let's just grow it instead. So it's frugality. And then we both got on the health wagon. And now it's more we're thinking about legacy. So it's turning it over to our children. It's letting them have the responsibility and lead the way. And that means the farm looks a little different. Maybe it's not as perfect or as operating as smoothly as if I were running it. But now the kids are running it. And first we're growing chittlers, not we're not growing cabbages. We're growing. We're not out here growing cabbages. We're out here growing children.
That's right. That's good. Thank you so much.
Right.
Appreciate it. All right, so I'm with David Stelzer. He is the founder of Azure Standard, and if you've been following my channel, you know that we are longtime supporters of Azure. We get a lot of our produce and food from Azure, and so you started this, was it 1987, something like that?
Yeah, Azure, that's when we first came up with the name. We started farming, my dad actually started farming organically in 73. Way before it was a thing, before it was cool. And I started selling direct. In the early days, Dad had a contract with Bob Moore, founder of Bob's Red Mill. And he sold the grain. Bob was the miller, he was the farmer, right? For that, back in the 70s. I was there, farm to table. And then Fred Myers was the primary retailer. And then Fred, anyway, he passed in the early 80s. And so his company got taken over. So we ended up losing that market from the farm. And so I figured, hey, somebody was eating the product. I just have to find. And Bob swiveled. He swiveled the convention for Fred Myers. But Dad wasn't willing to swivel. He said no. And so I had to go out and find the product, the customer. So that's kind of how Azure was born. I went out and started talking to people, mostly health food stores and co-ops and stuff back in those years.
So one of the things that we've noticed, when we've done this, gone with Azure, is we've talked with other people about it. And of course, you can go to the supermarket and buy food, Whole Foods, and maybe get some organic produce and that kind of thing. So why should someone say, you know what, I think Azure might be the right way to go for my family? Why would they pick Azure over going to, some supermarket somewhere? For the advantages.
Well, a couple things. One is Azure is very careful to vet where that food comes from.
Okay.
So just like you were, you know, if you were buying local at your local farmer's market, you would know the farmer that you're buying it from. You talk to him, or you go see his place. That's what Azure does on a large scale. Okay. So that's number one. Number two is Azure also sells for, especially for people who are raising families in larger quantities. So you can also, you know, most of the high-end stuff is in either really tiny packages, the high-end, I'm saying high quality, so I mean by that, really tiny packages, or it goes into high-end ingredients, and it becomes quite expensive. So Azure allows, it's that same quality. We sell that in larger sizes in bulk, where we don't have to spend so much on packaging, marketing, and sales, and allows you to buy direct from the farms that we've vetted as the highest quality.
So what we're really trying to do is promote healthy living and promote people getting high quality food directly from those farmers. And what we've been able to do is band together with a number of families in our community and get a drop near us, and which makes it really convenient. And so we go by and get that. Can other people do that and find where to find the drop for food?
Absolutely, you can find, you know, there's about 3,600 drops around the country in all 50 states.
Okay.
There are drops.
Okay.
So chances are there's already one somewhat close to you. If there's not, you can do just like you were talking about here and form a drop, and we'll be happy to build. We're trying to grow that network more and more. So our goal is to be into every community in the country.
That's awesome. Well, David, thank you so much for what you do. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. So I'm with Greg, Oxcart Leather, and Greg has been doing this for a number of years and obviously making some really cool stuff. So how did you get into doing leather work? Why was that something you found as a passion?
Yeah, so I needed gifts for two of my friends, right?
Okay.
And it was we're all at a point in our life where it was like, what can I get them that they can't already go and get
you
themselves?
Want to make something.
Yeah, so I had a roll of leather, and I was like, I'll make them journal covers. So that year I made them journal covers for Christmas. They loved it. The next year I made their wives tote bags, and that's how it started.
Yeah, cool. So what are a couple products that you love making or selling here?
Yeah, so functional all-purpose products over here are like our tote bags. These are good. These are popular. We do these in like a one piece and then a two-tone.
Okay.
My favorite though to make are these roll top backpacks.
Oh, nice.
Here. You basically just open it up, stuff it, and roll it, and then on the back for your keys, wallet, whatever,
Nice.
put it in the pocket. That way you don't have to dig.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah, I think one of my sons got one of these journal things here. One of these right here.
Yeah. Yep, little journal covers. And anytime I find a brand on a hide, I try to feature it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
You know, in the leather work.
Yeah, that's awesome. So if folks wanted to go and find you guys, just Google Oxcart Leather.
Oxencartleather.com, and then on Instagram at Oxencartleather.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank
it.
you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, guys, I'll drop a link for this festival so you can sign up for 2026 down below. But amazing place. We've learned a lot. I think there's like 200 something vendors here as well. But amazing place. And thanks so much for your support for us. We'll see you on the next video.